So over the last couple of months, I've been just needing to have something to play in the background while doing schoolwork or whatever it is that I need to do. Since finals are approaching, and I like to listen to stuff while I record or edit or whatever. And I was scrolling through the internet a couple days ago, and I found a clip from a show that a bunch of people recommended, called Invincible. It's a banger show. It's like a an Amazon Prime original series based on some comic books. And I don't think I have ever been so excited when watching a show in my life. When I watched the show, I watched it and I like finished the whole series. And while I was waiting on my girlfriend to come home from work, I was staying up waiting on her to get back to her house to make sure she was safe. I read I think 28 of the comic books because they're all fairly short. And I've read so many of them, and the series is so good. Uh, it came out, so the show came out sometime last year, and I was trying to like just watch the show because I found a clip on Twitter and it looked really good, so I just wanted to see like if it was actually that good or if it was just something that people like overhyped because I find especially a lot more recently a lot of the stuff that's hyped I'm not really into. Like I'm not a huge fan of Stranger Things. Everyone I know is recommending me watching it, saying that it's really good. Uh, I don't really plan on watching it. It's just not for me. But these people, like, when it comes to shows, Amazon knows like what it was that people want to watch. People want to watch something good. And when I first went into this show, I expected it to be like a kind of a childish show, because it seemed like an animation, like an animated style, even though it said like, "Warning: This show is not for anyone under the age of 18." I expected it to be something just like for younger audiences, something like that. Uh, no, the first like couple minutes of the show are meh. Like they're very obvious that they want to target like teenagers and or young adults. And then the more you keep watching, the more you realize this show is not for kids. The last like 15, 20 minutes of the show is just entirely dedicated to like some of the bloodiest shit I've ever seen in my life. And this is like not normal like gore shit or like not like over the top anything like that. This is just people who or this is just like people getting the shit kicked out of them. Like there's a superhero who kicks a dude and his ribs snap out and it kills someone else. Like it's fucking awesome. Yeah, it just basically like made me want to watch like keep watching after I watched the first episode. It was very good. But I just wanted to like talk about this for a minute because it's not really popular anymore. And season two should be coming out within the next couple of years or a couple months or something like that. I think what I found online was that season two was projected to come out next year. And the show is like The Boys. And for those of you who don't know, it's an adult TV show about superheroes when they don't hold back. But it this is just so good. But staying focused on Invincible, I have never intentionally ruined an entire show for my girlfriend and still made her not understand the show while she also wants to watch it. Like she just told me recently, I think this morning, that she was going to start watching it because her dad I think was watching it and he really or she seemed to like the animation style. So she just was like, "Sure." But yeah, it's something. They don't like the entire purpose of the show is to not hold back. And because with a lot of superhero media right now, it's just kind of boring. Like it's the same stuff. Like when I watched Doctor Strange 2, it was not what I expected and I was super disappointed by it, but and everyone else is still hyped. And like the only superhero media that I could watch right now without being bored out of my mind is Young Justice, which I can't wait to finish the show. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to like chat about this and say like I made a mistake. This show was fucking fantastic. They not to like ruin it too much, but I think my favorite character is either Invincible or Omni Man. He just him as a character and Omni Man is voiced by J.K. Simmons, who I love. I think J.K. Simmons when he talks is just so cool. And I haven't even like talked about the casting for this like thing. They have the guy from Rick and Morty. The main character. They're the main voice actor. They have Steven Yen who played Glenn in The Walking Dead. They have J.K. Simmons. They have Sandra Oh. They have the guy who voices Jay from Big Mouth, and every time he talks, it just makes me laugh. He there's a scene in like the entire show out of all 8 episodes. The only scene that made me like bust out dying in laughter was there's a character who originally enough, without getting too deep into spoilers, his name is Robot, and he basically like Robot does this plot thing where he like kidnaps a person or a villain that for them in like their universe, and then he like makes them do something, and he like steals a DNA from the character that's voiced by the guy who plays Jay in Big Mouth, and they like, and then they have like a big reveal or whatever of what happens, and the guy who's called Robot is trying to like explain what's happening, like why he did it and why he looks different, and all the character says is "God damn it, Robot," and him saying that in his voice just made me laugh so hard, and it was so good. I love it so much. Just thinking about it makes me giggle again. But yeah, it was so good, and they have like all kinds of superheroes and all like with all different powers. They have their own version of Batman that they make fun of. They have their own version of the Flash that they make fun of. They have their own version of Wonder Woman that they make fun of. They don't really have like a Superman per se. Uh, but yeah, no, it's super good. It's also like they show the consequences of being human in like a universe filled with superheroes. They have a superhero who or they had like the final fight, the Invincible's trying to like save an apartment building that's falling, and as he's like trying to save the apartment complex, like a random brick falls from the apartment complex and hits another person and splits him in half. One of the like coming of age moments, I guess, for this show was the main villain takes Invincible, beats the shit out of him inside a subway train, and tries to show him how weak like humans are by just standing in front of a train while a train drives through them, and they just take it like a champ, and it kills like hundreds of people. Um, and he just is like the villain throws him to the side. He's like, "You really want to fight for things that can't even fight for themselves?" And Invincible's just like, "Fuck you," and spits in his face. Uh, it's very good. And then they just like I don't know, it's just kind of crazy, like crazy to me all the stuff that they managed to do in the show. And I think the best part, and this is like a minor spoiler, I don't know how like important this is for the show because I'm not really up to date with all like the comics or whatever, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways because it's hilarious. There's a part in the show where they're hanging out. It's Omni-Man and Invincible. They're hanging out, and they're doing like training or something because Invincible's a new superhero. He's trying to figure out his powers, and Omni-Man's like, "Yeah, I can help you figure this out. You know, whatever. Why not?" And they get a call from, I believe it's like basically the leader of the CIA in this universe. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but he's like, Omni-Man, we need you to go fight this weird object that is coming towards Earth. And Omni-Man doesn't want to do it, so he sends Invincible to go do it. And Invincible flies up into space, and when he flies up into space, it's this like dude who pops up, like it's like a weird space alien with fucking rocket feet flying towards Earth, and he doesn't even like say anything. The first thing he says to Invincible is, "Oh, you're not the other guy, but I'll still kick your ass." But it's in the voice of Seth Rogen. And they're just like fighting. And like the fight scene's cool, you know, it's not really like the most action-packed fight scene in the Invincible universe, whatever, it doesn't really bother me. Uh and then the alien like throws Invincible to the moon, and then they start like chatting while he's getting his ass kicked, and the alien goes, "Are you from Earth?" Which is spelled like U-R-T-R-T-H or something like that, and he's like, "You're a fucking idiot. This is not Earth. This is Earth." He goes, "Oh, I gotta go tell, I think he said like the Space Council of the Universe or something like that. I gotta go tell them I made a mistake." But then he just like flies away and says like thank you after ripping a moon rock and telling Invincible his entire story. It's just like it's just so random and so goofy, and I don't know why. It's like thinking about it made me laugh, and like the fact that these these writers are managed to go this far in depth with a show that is literally just a superhero show. That's all it is. It's so funny to me, and the fact that it came out so good. Like I don't know if I should do this like a typical review because it's a year-old show, and I just don't know if that's the way I should do it. But if I was rating it, I'd give it like almost 100%. It's almost perfect. Uh, like it's so good. Like just the attention to detail to the show. They have a supervillain whose entire fucking superpowers is like earthquake rings. He wears like an infinity gauntlet, but instead of it doing like infinity stuff, he creates earthquakes. And instead of fighting him when he goes up, they have a woman who's fighting with him, and he's like the most woke fucking person ever. He like almost kills a black lady and then apologizes, saves her, and then goes back to only trying to murder the white people and screaming like how we need equality, and he's trying to kill Mount Rushmore or something. And the woman that's fighting him with Invincible is like trying to kick his ass, and he's just like, we should be on the same side. We both want what the fuck did he say? We both want like equality for women or something. And she's like, I thought you had a doctorate in because his name is like Dr. Seismic or something. And she's like, I thought you had a doctorate in earthquake studies, and he's like, and gender studies and African American culture. And it's just like, bro, the fact that we can make fun of people like that in like a heartfelt way and not just like bully people for having beliefs like that some people think are crazy is it just really like touches me. It makes me laugh, and I just thought that was really funny. But yeah, no, it would be like nearly 100%. I just kind of wanted to chat about how I made a mistake when it came to like a lot of the hype stuff. Like I don't get nostalgic about much or excited about watching a lot of shit. Like I think that some movies, like people think the first Jurassic Park movie is the best. I personally like the second one better. I just think it's more entertaining, but I also admit that the first one is fantastic, and if I was nostalgic, I would say the third one is the best because I love the third Jurassic Park. Just for an example. But yeah, no, I'm basically rambling at this point and just wanted to talk about how I thought Invincible was fucking fantastic, and I'm very disappointed I didn't watch it when all the hype was out last year, and I can't wait for all the rest of the or like the new season to come out and the new comics and whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thanks.